So between 2017 and 2020, we were asking 3 basic questions. When someone went to seek for information at the district office or at the sub-county, were they given that information? We also asked, was it easy to get that information? Then how many visits did it take to get that information? Because we have seen that their preference is to go there physically. And on all those 3 parameters, we've seen that the number of people who are making successful information requests has fallen. That is those that say that they were granted the information fully, those that say that it was easy to get the information, and then those that visited the offices and got the information with 1 visit. Maybe I'll pause here a little bit and ask the change agents, are we together? Okay, good. So when it comes to the citizens' confidence that they will get the information they seek for, we posed a number of scenarios to just check, do they have the confidence that that information will be availed? And we see that when it comes to the scenario that one has given birth and wants to register their child, and they go to the LC3, that they believe that it will be easy to get that information. Then when it comes to reporting a broken water pipe, we also see that, do we find it easy to get that information? I'm seeing some people shaking their heads. Others are probably not sure what to say. But that is what the rest of the Ugandans think, because this study was nationally representative. Then last year, around December, together with the Ministry of ICT, we did try to explore what is it that Ugandans know about the offices that they can turn to when they need information from government. So we posed a number of scenarios and again tried to explore that. Because as we were doing this, I must confess that I was also not sure which office I would go to in case I wanted to ask about a different scenario. So the findings did not really surprise me, because I would think that I'm quite curious. But going through that exercise, I was able to learn a little bit more. And I must say that I'm still learning. As we do these trainings, each day I'm learning something new from the leaders at the district, but also from our colleagues at AFIC. So what did these findings show? When someone wants to start a business and they're inquiring, which office should I go to? We see that 7 out of 10 say they don't know. Then those that say they know something, 14%, say that they turn to the LC1, which again takes me back to the original question. That trust that citizens have that they will get some information from the LC1. For us who are here, do we believe that unit or the LC1 level, they have sufficient information? Just something to reflect upon, because later on we'll be talking about access to information. And for those that know how you can help to improve this. Then when it comes to inquiring about government services, again, we see that 66% say they don't know. And we know that there are a number of programs the government has put in place. Yoga, the Youth Livelihood Program, all those are meant to help us live sustainable lives. But citizens do not know about this. And again, those that know say they will turn to the LC1. Then when it comes to getting information on agricultural services, education services, and health matters, here we found that they are more conversant of which office they would go to. For agriculture, they mentioned they will go to the agriculture office. For education, they will go to the district education officer. Then for health matters, they'll go to the hospital or to the DHO. But again, we find that half of them say they are not sure. They don't know which office they would go to. Similar to other areas that we explored, environment and natural resources, women issues, which we also found quite surprising that 10% said that they would go to the LC1. 65% said they didn't know, because we would expect women are caregivers in our community. So naturally, I would think that anyone would be curious to know, if my neighbor is being battered, where should I report this matter? Then youth issues, water services, they also seem to be more conversant of where they would go. Then construction, again, 77% said that they did not know which office to go to. And yesterday, as we're having the session, and also in Namutumba, I was able to see that there are different committees that deal with all these matters, which leaves us with the question of how can we ensure that everyone who is working on those issues within that district is able to proactively share information and guide the citizens who may be curious about certain matters. So from going to the civil servants' perspectives, Violet mentioned most of the findings from that study. But just to re-echo some of that, is that civil servants reported that they had not been given any training or guidance on access to information. I'll just give an example. When we were doing the same study, while we were in the field in Wakiso, we asked a question that if at all someone asked you about the plans for a road that probably was meant to be constructed in that financial year and the budget, would you give that information? And the officer we were speaking to said, no, I would not give that information, because they are worried that information will become embozie bala, as in it will be discussed in the bar, meaning it's totally wrong. Which now leaves us with the question, for someone who is eager to improve services within their community, if at all the response you get sometimes from the supply side is that, that information is not good for you, will misuse it, then all the monies that we invest in different programs are likely to not effectively deliver, because some element of social accountability will be left out. Because each time I ask for information, I'm denied that, then it will discourage me from asking for more information. So from this, it was quite clear that both on the citizen side and also on the duty bearer side, the ATI Act has had minimal impact on the processes of disclosing information. Hence, in some way, it could frustrate some programs. And that is what guided our initiative to go ahead and have this kind of training. For the civil servants that were here yesterday, we shared this image. I will not ask what does it mean, but I'll just move a little bit closer and show something. So this is a log here for those that are seated so far away, and this is a road demarcation. This person who was given this project, wrote this construction, and I must say it's not in Kamuli. This is off the internet. Decided to just bypass this log and continue. His role was to demarcate this clearly so that road users are able to see the boundary and stay safe. But they did not have that mind to remove this log. So my call on all of us here in our different capacities, because even as change agents, you have received quite a lot of training. You know a lot more than probably some of your LC ones has told that in a different location. Let us be able to proactively share information on the different programs that you're aware of, even if it's just vaccination, because sometimes you hear people asking you, oh, I need to get my second jab. Where should I go? So for us, it's our role to constantly share information so that people are guided on how to access services so that we are able to achieve the country's vision. Thank you.
Oluzungu lubaire lungi oba menemene muku oba naawo tukonere waawo tujire mwawo oba menemene muku ka menemene kantandike n'akalayini kakubye eri abandi eri eriisa erikulingira lyakoba ati wootandirire mu njaswala baida kumbuuza mu kyalo ati bebogeire ngo bitegeire nga nkoba nti ntegeire abawala bakoloni oluzungu walezena natya so ndina okuyira muku menamene muku kale mu byonna batulaze eyo line ndowooza mugitegeire nti ole yali yakoze oluguudo lwe nga bamukobye ateekwa akalayini akalagirira ab'emmotoka nti wanoona abo oviire kuki ku luguudo aye nga wagati awo waliwo wali omuti gwe baali bakoze eki batemye nga guli awo ayoole yagutema tiyakola ki tiyagutoolawo so wakalayini yena kyeyakola bw'atuuka awo yawetaho abuwete kyategeeza ni oba kyali kikoba nti ogwo tigubaire mulimu gwange so bakoba kinti tulina okukola ddala twena walala okuboneka nti tutoolayo amawulire gano tugatuusa eri ki tugatuusa eri abantu abatulaze nti webaali bali kukola okunoonenkereza baalagira irala nga abantu abasinga titwenda mawulire gasinga bungi aye twenda kubona chairperson bafunye sente imeka era badikozeisa batya tinekyo bafunye oluguudo baalulire bulye baalulime n'amawulire getusinga okola ki getusinga okwenda bire ebisinga tibabirinzeeku yatukobera yalaga era research n'obonera irala nga nibwo giringa kwe bantu fuyeni abantu 7 buli ku 100 bakoba nti kizibu okujja mu ku district mpulano oliyo abantu 7 bale n'abakobye buli 10 bakoba nti kizibu okujja ku district oba okujja mu kitongole ekyo nakyo n'otoolayo ki n'ofuna y'amawulire mbu bwe kiri oba abaire alirimbamu bwe kiri era yamala yakoba nti abasinga tutya okujja eyo okufuna y'amawulire twalowooza nti tujja agafuna kwero si wanu yababuuza ekibuuzo kyova ndikuwiramu aye mwena mumaze mwasiriikiriramu yabuuza ati mulina bukakafu ki obulaga nti ero si wanu obukakasa nti ero si wanu ID n'ebisinga okugemaga ebigiri kuki ku district ero si wanu alina by'ID bingi ebigema ku district oba yeena twebeera naye eyo mu kyalo tuba naye mu kyalo so yaye time ba change agents bebeese wano olwaleero titukolere walala n'ab'ebitongole byonna n'abakozi ba gavumenti okuboneka nti tutoolayo amawulire gano twagatuusa ku ki twagatuusa mu bantu yeeyongerayo yatukobera nti bakola okunoonenkereza ku n'ebitongole ebindi aye nga abantu bonna balaga nti aleseemuku ekyamaadi yaleetamuku bino ebya gavumenti ebindi nti aye nga abantu balaga nti okufuna amawulire gano ogatuusa ku bantu kikaale kiki kikaale kizibu akagambo akasembye eyo kakobye nti bana twena oba oli change agent oba oli wa mawulire oba oli mukozi wa gavumenti oba oli honorable oba oli mukozi wa kitongole tukolere walala tuboneke nti amawulire gano gatuuka eri abantu ate mu bulambulukufu bwago. N'olw'obugambo obwo obutontono lwaki timukubangalo nga ndeta omwogezi w'oluzungu owundi aida anaane ebigambo by'oluzungu ife tubivunule mu lusoga kandete omwogezi owundi Susan Juliet from Afik nerindi bwe nalyogera mwidategeera butegeere nti kaire tulikwirayo mu session yaki ya luzungu tukubbe engalo ng'omuzungu owundi aida. Iwe bw'obanga ebigambo tolibiwulira bulungi nze nkobye nti okanula maiso waataayo ekutu kunkomerero tuidafuna ekituufu. Kanula wa maiso bw'akoba ati omwana ayogeire oluzungu wakiri bwegomba mu akagambo ako kasembeizaayo. You are welcome, Madam Susan from Afik.
I'm also going to ask for permission from Honorable Minister to remove my mask. Today I'll use the microphone because we are many in the room. Earlier in the morning, I had everyone introduce themselves and I still remember a number of names. Honorable Minister, I feel so much honored. Again, this is the second time I'm standing before you. I don't know what you people usually feel when you appear before somebody so important, somebody who inspires you. It inspires me to once again stand before him, and we can never thank you enough. Really, we cannot, but you have done quite so much for us in the shortest time. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming to Kamuli, joining us. It's never happened. Really, for us, this is the first time. And we really do not and will never take that for granted. My name is Susan Juliet Agwang. I had my brother Opio introduce himself in the morning in our local language, Yoganoi, Bia Bojo. I come from Bukedia. I come from Bukedia, that's after Mbale, and I work with the Africa Freedom of Information Center. Very briefly, we promote the right of access to information in Uganda, in Africa, and across the world. We are based in Kampala. Twaweza is our longest partner. Gilbert always emphasizes that. I joined AFIC in 2018, but he says he has known Twaweza his whole life. So we don't also take the partnership for granted. Okay, so my role today, and because I have a maximum of 30 minutes to do everything that I have to do, but I'll ensure that one, I will use the simplest English. For those who know the English, accept my simple English because I want to try my best to communicate to everyone. And I'm going to talk about something very interesting. And I hope that you will find it interesting because I'm here to talk about now. Yes, you've heard everyone talk about access to information. So I am just going to go through the nitty-gritties. What is that thing that we call access to information? And it's exciting to have what we call the change agents. Yesterday, we had the engagement with public officials. And again, Honorable Minister, before I forget, I have not impressed by a district for the 3 years I have worked in civil society. But this one blew us away yesterday. They know these things. They summarized the session. During the introduction time, they summarized the whole session. The communications officer, yes, she's still around. The communications officer is an exemplary communications officer. How I wish every communications officer learns from her. And we shall always use her as a good example because there are things that the district has done. You know that the communications officer represents, speaks, and implements what the top administration wants to see. So she's really done that. So it's quite impressive. For the Ministry of ICT, I've not seen Madame Slivia, but we have walked this journey with Madame Slivia. It's really good to, you see, you're sitting here with public officials, and we're all the same right now. So that's the same thing that we have also experienced with the Ministry of ICT, that we are the same. Yes, they are public officials, they are the leaders, but when we are sitting together, we talk about these things like we are the same. Today, I'm going to communicate only to the change agents, the public officials who were here yesterday. We really apologize that you're going to hear the same things that you had yesterday. But for today, I'm going to request you to be children. They say a child learns through repetition. Okay? So we are going to repeat. You're going to hear, but we would also be happy if you contribute in the discussion, especially considering the fact that today we have our people. Mr. Moderator, do you want to chip in?
Ebyo byonna byonna babiwulire tinicho ebyo tetubiwulire akiwulire weekubira engalo waba tokiwulire so munkomere mu byonna byonna akobye yeebaziza minisita nti guno mulundi ge gwakubiri okwemerera ku mu maiso ga minisita nze zeena n'omulundi ogusooka kyova olibona buli bwe ndikwemerera ndigololamuku amakono so that minisita mbona nti ndi munene muku. So nga bw'oli musanufu akobye nti musanufu ino okwemerera ku so twena tuli basanufu niba nange bakyenjeje nti basanufu kyova oliwulira minisita bali kubenga leedo okubona ku minisita. Ensonga ey'okubiri akobye nti tayagaananga ku disitulikiti nambulukufu era disitulikiti etegeera ebintu bino ebyamawulire oti ni disitulikiti y'e Kamuli. Yabaire iddo n'abakozi ba gavumenti ni ba kansalazi abakulembeze baife betwalonda aye engeri gye balazeemu wano engeri gye bayowayiiyamu nabyo bakoze eki bafunziza omusomo gwonna mu ddakiika 5 baboneka nti ekye byene byeyaidde okusomesa bo babaire babidi. Yeebaziza communication officer engeri gye yalambulwiremu ebintu bye n'engeri gy'ali kolamu ebintu bino yeetondera be twabaire nabo iddo nti ebintu bye tulijja okwogera ku ssaawa eno bye twayogeire ku iddo aye yabasaba nti omwana ayega lwakwiramu kwiraganamu era ni session ye tulijjamu yakwiraganamu maama twiraganemu abantu batandiika okola emirimu gyeyo.
Now, I'm also being left behind because I don't know the language. But with gestures, I'm also able to understand. My sister is married to a Musoga, so I'm going to ask her to teach me the language little by little. Okay? Honorable Minister, I'm not used to standing in one place. I am not. You're going to forgive me for roaming, but I'll make sure that I keep a social distance. I crammed some names, and please, if I call your name, do not embarrass me in front of the minister. Okay. Where is Idi? You were somewhere behind. Idi, where are you?
Idi.
Aha. Idi is there. Idi, have you ever heard about access to information? Have you ever heard about it? What have you heard?
Oba kyenawuliraku nti wetuba tulikuwa oba nga tulikwenda ofuna amawulire wetuba tulikuwa twenda ofuna amawulire tufuna nga tugatoola okuva ku ground wetuba tuli era nga tugatoola ku bantu abatuufu oba mu community entuufu erimu abantu abatuufu nga bye bakola bituufu. Then okufuna access okuba nti niwo omuntu obo olikuwa real information oba amawulire kugaliisookera me ogatambuze era nga amawulire ago matuufu.
You will translate all of them when I just need 3 people. So I'm looking for my sisters. Margaret. Margaret was somewhere here. Where's Margaret? Yes. Have you heard about the right to information or access to information? And what have you heard about it?
kyembuuziza ole n'ekirala ekyo.
Nkiwulirako ekyamawulire kuba nze tegasakangako.
She has ever heard about it, but the challenge for her, she has never gone to the field to look for that information, to report it anyway.
Interesting and good response, okay? Going back, John, where are you? John, you were here yesterday. John. Now, Honorable Minister, yesterday there was a table where people knew everything about the law and they asked the most questions. So I've asked John to get up because I also want to hear I want him just to repeat what we talked about yesterday, why we need access to information. John, please go ahead. Today is the day to shine in front of the minister. If you want to stand here, you can come.
Sorry, unfortunately, I'm not John. I'm Samuel, and a journalist. What we talked about mostly was how people could access information. And generally me, I was on the side of journalists because I was trying to defend when they were saying sometimes we report wrongly. Then I was also throwing it back to them that when we need information, we are not given time, or sometimes they keep on tossing us. So I said it wasn't our fault. When you call someone, you could say, maybe run the story the way it is. Now, when it is blown, then the fault is ours. Basically, that's what I said.
Thank you so much. Those are enough for now, but I'm going for my next category. Unfortunately, the women are few, but the men are too many. You're going to bear with us. Amos, you're somewhere behind. Amos. I know where the names came from. Amos, I know you're here because I took the name. Amos, you want to stand up? Now, Amos, I'm going to repeat because you were meditating, but there are those who meditate while hearing. Have you ever, which is going to be obvious, have you ever asked for information? Which information? Did you get it? And from where?
Okay. I will talk Lusoga because we have our local people here. By the name of Mukasa Damasi, I work with Busoga FM, Busoga One Radio, Moyo Gwa Busoga. But tomorrow I wasn't here. No. Yesterday. But kyene ndokoba nti amawulire nagabuliraku era amawulire ngaidi era nagasaka era ngasaka information kyendidi nti nje nagifuna ku muntu omutuufu era najja nagitoolako oyo mwene gwe kigemaku asaanire mwene era kyantwalira ibanga okusobola okunoonya information eyo entuufu yene nsobola okugirwaninga oba okugikola story ngoti neyo zekyo kyetegeere.
Thank you, Amos. Mr. Moderator, you'd want to sum that up so that I move to the next thing.
Before I sum that up, kankobere banange okufuna amawulire tikiritegeeza nti ba radio bonka n'abajani bagafuna bagaweereza ku radio. Tikyetulimu tuli ku ngeri y'osobola ofunamu amawulire gano g'oli kwetaaga ku bintu byonna byonna ebiri mu ki ebiri mu kyalo kyammwe kye mulimu. I'm just briefly explaining access to information because we are thinking, the thinking is that access to information is only for journalists who are picking it from the community to report it to any media house or a media forum. So he was briefly telling us as a reporter, he goes to the community, picks information and takes it to the radio station. That's what he was briefly explaining.
Okay, so that's a summary of what everyone else said, right? Okay, thank you so much for those light moments. Margaret really looks like my late grandmother, so I keep looking at her. So Margaret, I'm going to come back to you. Why do you think access to information is important to you as a woman? Why?
Lwaki olowooza nti okufuna amawulire gano kya mugaso gy'oli nga iwe omuntu? N'ebirala ebyo omukyala taba muntu?
Nkibona nga kya mugaso kusinziira amawulire ge mba nfunye. Eriyo amawulire nga luyisi bayida kugambuuza ndobe kugainonola bulungi. Amawulire agandi gaba ga byabulamu nga gatugemaku nga katugeze nti byakuwuliza nti eriyo oba kugema abaana polio nasobola okutambuza mu banange abazaire nti bana abali n'abaana mutwala abaana wa kuirwaliro baje babageme polio. Ago gaba gatugasa. Eidembe eri abakyala nti oba eriyo enkungaano eri abakyala babenga baliwo nibyo bali kuteesaaku oba mu bibiina ng'ebyo oba lunaku lw'abakyala nti eriyo kye bateesaaku ku bizibu byaibwe ebibagemaku. Kale naabonanga kiba kingasa eri nga nze n'obutabanguko mu maka byona biba bya mugaso okutyama ne tubitebenkeza.
I want to hear from another.
You got that?
I haven't, but I want you to sum the two at once so we save time. I want to hear from another. So ladies, don't think I am going to skip you today. I am not. I'm going to the ladies next to mommy with a baby. One of them can volunteer. Why is access to information important for you as the change in your community? And what can you do with that information to change your community? Even baby wants to give the answer, that's okay. And by the way, just before you speak, your name again? Just a name.
Rachel.
Rachel. Yeah. When I gave birth in 2016, I was supposed to attend a very high-level engagement. My husband invited me to attend it. I was not working then. I had just finished school. My baby used to disturb during the meeting, and everyone was looking at me like, can you go out? My husband told me, you are sitting here, you're not getting out, okay? That how are we going to break that perception people always have that babies make noise? You're going to bear with that baby and she's going to sit here. Please proceed. Until when she takes him herself, but she's going to sit here.
Nze mbona nga kya mugaso okusinziira ku mirimu gye tulitambuza mu kyalo. Bwe twalinga tukaali kuba nkiiko dhaife dino oba nakwogera ku n'abatuuze nga balowooza ati buli kivaayo mu munaani mu kyalo kyaife byanaani bakyeyamaani nabali sapoozi gyobakoba nga ife kitwene tuzira buvunaanyizibwa obwo. Ayi buti bwe twasalawo tuti ffeena abantu abataka b'oku kyalo bwe tuba nga tulina ekituluma ku kyalo tusobola okukiweereza ku baliida abasinga ku chairman kyatusobozesa ositula ekitundu kyaife.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. I'm also going to move with the assumption that a number of us here are Lusoga, right? I'm the one who is really doing badly. But if you don't mind, please just sum that up, what the two have said. The two women have said.
Yes. This one said it helps in solving village issues. Like when they get access to that information. Maybe when they have a problem, they can present it to higher authorities. Then your grandmother, yes, your grandmother said a lot about that access to information helps them access more so helpful information related to health, gender-based violence, and the other community-related information. Basically that.
I'm not going, please don't misinterpret. First of all, I'm not a feminist. That's one thing I am not, because there are differences between us, okay? But if there are people who need information the most in the communities, and if there are people who can cause change in communities, empower a woman. I'm not speaking because I'm a woman, but empower a woman. My colleague Matthias implements access to information projects in 10 districts in Uganda. But if there are impactful people we have had in the project, it's the women. There are few who come for the meetings because of there's so many cultural factors. They cannot come for a meeting at a certain time, but the little that they do to join us for those meetings, they do impact. I'm not saying the men do not. I am just giving you the other side of empowering a woman with information. My grandmother has talked about health. We actually have a woman who changed the entire health sector in her community because there was just no track of the medicine brought to the health center, and nobody was caring about it. But after she got the training on access to information, she went ahead and implemented and went and asked for information. And she got, actually, when she went to ask for the information, the DHO was a little bit scared. Why do you want the information? She said, I just want to. I got a training from some organization, so I just want to know that information. So just because she made that request, now the health center feared that anything could arise out of it. And they disclosed that information. And from that time, that health center has never lacked medicine. That is what we call a change agent. You are lucky to be here today. I am equally lucky to be here today. Marie has emphasized since the beginning of her session that we're not here to teach you anything. We are here to speak, to learn from each other. And because you have the duty bearers here, you should even clap for yourselves. You will get the questions, the answers to the questions from the right people. When they tell you about it, you will appreciate it better. The media is here. We've had stories of misinformation. They report what they want. They may not report the truth that is happening, or they report the bad, they don't report the true. You will have an opportunity to discuss those things. But without wasting time, I want to make a summary. But we shall provide you with information. AG, we have so much information for you. We even have translated access to information request forms in Lusoga. You will be able to read that form and use it to ask for information whenever you want it. But I want to emphasize, there is you getting capacity on something and you don't do anything with it after. What my mother says, it has entered from here and it got out from here. She uses that example a lot. But with the information you're getting out of this, what are you going to use it for? Civil society needs information. Public officials need information. Honorable Minister, yesterday, the very first thing that the RDC and the CAO highlighted was that they should be the primary beneficiaries of information. They complained, or I don't want to use complain, I don't want to be quoted. Let me rephrase my word. they raised a challenge that sometimes information at national level is disseminated, but they get it a month after, which affects their ability to disseminate effective, efficient, and timely information to the citizens. And when they don't have answers to the questions the citizens ask, that is when they don't trust them. They highlighted the challenges they had. I wish they could highlight in summary at the conclusion of this event. Member of the House of Lords, Mr. Planner, is sitting right here. They were really contributing yesterday to the challenges they also face when it comes to information dissemination in the district. A public official needs information even before a citizen, because then the flow of information is facilitated when he has, and then he shares with the citizen. But they also highlighted that citizens have lost interest. I hope that no change agent here has lost interest in asking for information. Do we still need information as change agents? I know the media definitely needs the information. The media can operate. If you want to shut down the media in Uganda, hide the information. They are not going to report accurately. They are going to instead facilitate false communication or false information. But when they have timely, and I emphasize timely information, they are able to inform all the change agents here, and the change agents are able to change our communities. So this thing that we keep saying, access to information, is very important. It's very important. And your government has gone ahead and put in place mechanisms for you to access this information, for you to interact with them, but are you using those available opportunities? By show of hands, who in this room has ever gone to the district to ask for information? Like you have gone to the district, or you've gone to the municipal council, or you have gone to the RDC's office? Just by show of hands.
Bova oidinga wajja ku district oba RDC oba wa chairman 5 ng'oli ku eri amawulire g'oli kwendayo oba eriyo ky'oli kwendayo okubuuza.
Now I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I'm going to give each person seconds. Try to summarize it. What were you asking for? Did you get it? What were you asking for, and did you get it? Just a very short experience. Did you get that information?
Second, sibali waba wanika emikono.
If you didn't get it, it's okay. Tell us you didn't get it. If you got it, also tell us if you got it.
I happen to be working at the district as well. But when I went to the planner to inquire about issues concerning youth livelihood, groups that have benefited, I got it.
Positive experience. Thank you very much. Let's get the next one. There were 4 hands. And you be as brief as he has been. Yes.
I'm Tolly K. Clovis. Civil society. Some years I went to the works engineer to ask for a BOQ for Kananage Primary School. After which I had been to the school, the engineer in charge tossed me up. So I had to come back in fact to the works engineer of the district. My approach enabled me to get the BOQ, which enabled me to go back and engage the engineer that was, the contractor that had been assigned to build a 4-classroom block for Kananega Prep School. We had found it was substandard. But it was, where do you get the authority? Are you a trained mason? So I had to get that information and permission from the cow and the authorities at the district. That was my approach.
Okay. That's equally positive. He demonstrated the challenge he had and eventually got it. That is good. And lastly, yes, there was somebody behind there had the hand.
Where is the hand?
Where is the hand? There was that other hand.
There is.
Yes, there.
There is.
Thank you. My name is Susan, also from civil society. I one time visited the district offices. I wanted to have access to the district plan, development plan, and also the budget. When I requested the planner to share with me, he actually accepted and he promised to share with me the soft copy, which was shared. So I was so successful. Thank you.
See, I told you about Kamuli. There is so much good stories. The challenges are inevitable, but there is a good story at least to hear from somebody. There could have been a challenge, but then they eventually got the information. Let's have the next one. Yes.
Yes, I'm Charles Galimaka. I work with the KBS FM. One time I visited the DHO's office. I wanted to find out information about the X-ray which was at the district hospital, which was not working since it was installed. So he gave me the information, and indeed that information helped because the minister after sent in the technocrats to come and find out why it was not working. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Charles. My father is called Okui Charles. So Charles, I can't forget when I keep saying Charles, answer the question, keep answering the questions. That's what I usually do. My experience, I have also requested for information, not from Kamuli. I requested for it at national level. But I have two scenarios. One, Uganda Communications Commission, and then Uganda Electoral Commission. Honorable Minister, there's a meeting I recently attended, and the head legal of UCC was there. He's always very energetic and defends the position of UCC. And everyone was shocked when I said we have actually got information from UCC. Now the practice that UCC has is you will file the request today, you will get it in 3 days, 4 days to access it.